that you got the Facebook, YouTube ready. Is this one on? This. Where is it on? And I'm asking. Rede Benro, hello sir. Nike, they have not opened our YouTube, eh? Welcome everybody that is there. We are still using the church's YouTube, right? Sarah, welcome. Faith, welcome. We're waiting for us to go on Facebook. Okay, I think we're on Facebook now. Is that, where is the noise coming from? Could that be coming from Anita? I mean from Benita? Okay, let me quickly greet a few people from Facebook. Let me greet people from Facebook. Then we'll be ready to go. Godwin Okezi. Okay, welcome. Okay. Okay. Ooh, stop working for. I like the way they put the book there. Stop working for Uncle Sam is the book. And the book is just standing tall. You guys, you can't believe it. The book we are going to be examining today. I think they should keep the book there all the time. I think Kate should keep that book there all the time because people got to see that book all the time. Yeah, all the time. It's got to be there. Okay, we are welcoming Reverend Roslyn Majekodumi, Adeyemi Alao, Osas is here, Fonsani, Kenny Popola, Abisola, Abisola Olojo is here today. She's happy to see Benita especially. We have Francis Emmanuel, we have Joy, we have Shinasa, we have Ade Bonojo Abiodo, we have Tessie, we have Ekeban, we have Fusani, we have Mel, we have Jude, we have Lady Ebony. Ooh, Lady Ebony, wow. You will like tonight's evening teaching. Afolabi Michael, Francisca. Well, let's quickly go and welcome our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. Let's go and invite as many people as possible. On YouTube, I welcome Rede again, Nike, Sarah, Faith, Godwin, Nkeshi, Oluyomi, Bell, and all other people that are there, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Nice to see you people. And today I have, I don't know how to show the book here. Is it going to be okay? I have a superb discussion today that we are going to be having going on. It's called Stop Working for Uncle Sam. Stop Working for Uncle Sam. That's the name of the book. But I'm sure you can see the book out there. Stop Working for Uncle Sam. It is one of my best books. In fact, this book here, you know what? How do I best say this? You know, there are some things that you do. Okay, first of all, let me start by saying all my books all my books, I will say there is none of them that I will say I regret writing or that I will say it's a weak book. All my books, especially the ones I've written in the last 10 years, will be the best or one of the best on the subject matter in the whole wide world. Or maybe the best book on the subject that has ever been written. But there are some books, despite the fact that all my books are bestsellers, are some of the best books in the world, yet there are some of the books that are my personal favorites. Those are like maybe 50, but there are many, but they are my personal favorite. And one of my real personal favorite that gives me, not because they are the best or they are the best written, but that gives me satisfaction, just inner satisfaction that I wrote this book. Just satisfaction that I got this book wrote is this book here. Stop Working for Uncle Sam. If I die today, one of the things that I'm going to be very grateful to God to that I did was that I wrote that book. I think this book is going to keep on setting generations free after I am gone, after I stop living, after I might have left this world. I think this book is going to keep on setting generations free. So, I want you to go and tag all your friends today. And I want you to go and invite as many people as you could invite. Before I introduce Benita to you, because Benita is going to talk about the book, let me go to Amazon and write and read to you one of the feedbacks that we got from Amazon. One of the, is it feedback you call it? Or what do you call it? Is it feedback? Reviews, yeah. One of the reviews we got from Amazon on this book. One person said, I wish I had read this book years ago. And I'm going to also ask Benita to take note or take notice of some of the points these people are making, because I'm going to ask you what are the points from this book, I mean from these comments or reviews that you would say, yeah, you absolutely agree with, even though you are going to be making your own points. Then this person says, thought-provoking and action-taking, effective ways to be financially secure and independent. Now, there's one here that's very long. It says, so I just finished reading this book at one sitting, and I'm about to start reading it all over again. That's one person writing. Dr. Sunday Adelaja never ceases to amaze me with his unending depth of revelations and insights on the subject of money and finances. When I read Money Won't Make You Rich by Dr. Sunday Adelaja, I thought I had gotten it all. But reading Stop Working for Uncle Sam made me feel like I had never read any book on finances before in my life. That's what this person is thinking. Okay, next thing that is written here is Dr. Adelaja, through this book, also enlightens the reader that slavery and slave trade was not really abolished, but it was just repackaged and modified in the form of job, salary, bills, taxes, and loans. In this book, another point, Dr. Sunday brings about a paradigm shift. He engenders a 360-degree change in our mindset by enlightening us on the fact that our aspirations to go to school, get a white-collar job, and work hard till we retire in our 60s for our potential. It brings on an entirely different perspective from what we have heard, known, or taught. The sole aim of work is not to earn a good salary or live a good life, but work is a tool for fulfilling God's purpose for our lives here on earth. So these are some of the comments I got on this book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam, from Facebook, from the internet, from Amazon. Now we have the beautiful Benita Owobi here. Owobi, yeah?
Yes, Owobi.
Okay, Owobi. Now, yeah. Benita, you read this book?
I have read it, Pastor. I have read the book, indeed.
Are you sure you will be able to go through, because this is a big book, I mean, to the modern standard, it's almost 300 pages book. So are you sure you'll be able to remember some of the highlights? And first of all, before the highlights, first of all, I would like you to tell us what is your main takeaway from this particular book?
Okay, so the lesson I've learned from this book is that I wasn't obedient enough to God in regards to money, finances, and my purpose on earth. So that book has actually showed me that I was in a system that is not in the original intent of God, and that if I was going to die today, God would have been disappointed with me because I disobeyed. I didn't bring the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven. So that's the lesson that I learned from the book.
Beautiful. You summarized it very well. So how can you say a book that is called Uncle Sam is summarized so much that it lines up with the kingdom of God?
Because Uncle Sam, first of all, we have to understand who is Uncle Sam. So that's the first question. Before you even go and read a book or even to do anything, you've got to be able to understand who is Uncle Sam, how does Uncle Sam's system operate. Then once you have understood that, then you can take your decisions. You can do what you want to do with your life. So for me, Uncle Sam's system, as the way you've described in the book, is the government system, is the government of this world, okay? Okay? It's the government of this world, like the society, the world we are living into is Uncle Sam's system. It's all about going to work, working for salary, waiting for a paycheck. That's what Uncle Sam's system is about. And it's even more deeper than this. This is just the beginning of what you've explained in the book. When you understand how Uncle Sam came into existence and who he is, then you will start taking like steps to quickly come out of it, because you're actually disobeying, as I said. You're disobedient to God. You're not following the principles, the order of things. God says, let thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. So we are actually, Uncle Sam is the system that a lot of people are imprisoned. You're talking a lot of, in the book, you're talking about slavery. You're talking about people being enslaved, and it is true. I will tell you why. Uncle Sam will enslave you in so many systems. Uncle Sam is so systematic. He's very intelligent. He will hook you up with, credit cards. He will hook you up with like so many things that you want to see, advertisement, things that you see on TV. This is all part of Uncle Sam's strategy to distract you so that you will not fulfill your purpose on earth. And working for Uncle Sam, I'm sorry to say, but a lot of us, unfortunately, are part of this system because we were not told, we never knew about it. We found ourselves in that system because that's the order of things. When you go to school, you get a degree, you get a certificate. What they will tell you is to go and get a good job, get a salary and provide for your household, going on holiday. So that is the pattern. That is the pattern of the world, that you just study to have a good job and that's it. You die unfulfilled. You died without leaving your purpose. So when you wrote that book, I think you understood that God is asking a lot of people questions. and they need to answer to him pretty quickly. So that's why you put that book together, to make us realize that if we surrender our will, our lives to the system, we have failed. We have completely failed the original plan of God. And when we talk about Uncle Sam, you in the book, you're describing it as like the government system that is enslaving people and all of that. But then I wanted to know more before I could even make that bold step to leave the system. Because when you are in the system, you can't just come out of it. You don't just say, I want to come out of the system. You've got to think, you've got to have strategies in place. And if you are watching today, don't be in a hurry. We're going to go step by step. We're going to analyze so that you will understand that this whole system is so well organized that you've got to be clever than him. You've got to be clever than Uncle Sam. And, you know, for me to take that bold decision to leave the system, to leave Uncle Sam's system, I had to read the whole book. I couldn't go to Money Will Make You Rich or How to Secure a Financial Future if I didn't understand that I can actually live without Uncle Sam's system. So don't be in a hurry to read so many books. If you're talking about being free from slavery, let's start with stop working for Uncle Sam. Once you have mastered, you have understood what Uncle Sam's system is, then we can talk about Money Will Make You Rich, because then you will understand the laws of money, you will understand savings, retention that you mentioned in other books as well, how to understand the laws of money. But before you even reach to that level, you've got to understand that Uncle Sam's system lives with you. Like, for instance, in the United Kingdom, this mobile phone that I have, you can't purchase it cash. It's done in such a way where you have to sign up for a line rental, and on a monthly basis, they will be taking some money from your bank account.
That is the demonstration of Uncle Sam.
Yeah, so already, Uncle Sam is with me right here. You can see him. I'm holding Uncle Sam in my hand because I am bound to this system. I can't afford to buy this phone because the system is so well organized that you are bound to spend. Consumerism is there. So Uncle Sam's system has always been there since the beginning. We've been to school, we've been to nursery school, primary school, secondary school, university. It's the world system. And for us to defeat it, to be able to now to walk in our purpose, we've got to understand him.
Okay.
And
now in that book,
yeah,
you remember, Benita, that this book is not just talking about Uncle Sam, which enslaves us to work, job, credit card, and the system of buying consumerism and things like that. But Uncle Sam also is one of the greatest inventions of Satan to distract men away from their original purpose.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that to our viewers?
Absolutely.
How does Uncle Sam distract people from what they were made to do?
Let me tell you a story, first of all. I'm one of the victims of this system, because, God has gifted me, He's given me so many potentials and things that I could do. And I know that it's from Him. But because of that, because of the lack of knowledge that I've had, I never truly knew who Uncle Sam was. So I had to conform to the system. I had to be part of the system because I never understood. So kind of, as you said, Uncle Sam is kind of taking away your freedom. He's taking away your will, your power, your reasoning, your ability to do what God has called you to do. So Uncle Sam is very busy, he's holding you captive in a way that even I was about to give up on my purpose. If I didn't come across your books or even your life and how you portray yourself, I would have just died, just purposeless. I wouldn't have been able to even come here and speak to you. It's because the way you've like spoken in that book has given me a new meaning in life. It's like Uncle Sam messed up with my mind. Uncle Sam is messing up with a lot of people's mind. You know you have a purpose, you know you have a call, you know there is something on your life, but because you don't know, you are just at the mercy of the system. You don't know how to come out of it. It's a vicious circle, Pastor Sunday. It's like we are all part of it, and like unwillingly we are set up to be part of that.
But we, especially people in the West. But one thing is that people in Nigeria and people in Africa, people in the Congo, you know, some of them, the Uncle Sam system has not totally gotten hold of that society. And people in Africa don't even know that they have advantages over people in Europe. They are not aware, because some of them want to live in Europe and they run to Europe. But then when they come to Europe, yes, they get food to eat, they get to live in comfortable situation, but they become a slave to a system that is feeding them, but they have lost the most important thing. They are God's destiny and purpose and their freedom. Now, but in Africa, even though you might not have all the money that you need in life, but that freedom, you have it to a large extent. Because in Nigeria or in most African countries, they don't have the credit card system. Like, for example, you showed that phone just now, and you said in the UK, there is no way you could buy it without Uncle Sam. But in Nigeria, if you can actually buy it because you have your cash and you are not going to be dependent on the Uncle Sam. You can come to the shop, give your money, take that phone away, and you don't need to be under the system of coming to report every month to Uncle Sam. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you say, but unfortunately, Pastor Sunday, this is how the world is built on this side of the world, and we have no choice. It's there. You can't just demolish a system that's been existing for like, I mean, seriously, how dare you? Who are you? How would you demolish that system that is already in place? In UK, if you don't, like for instance, if I leave my job right now, I'm homeless tomorrow. That is the big problem. If I stop working tomorrow without a plan, without a strategy of how to come out of it, like the bailiff will come at my door and asking me to repay for that phone I showed you about here. He will come to my doorstep and say, okay, where is my money? So it's unfortunate that it's the world system, but somehow you were clever enough to think you were able to set yourself free, because in the book you're also mentioning of how you were able to establish it for yourself.
And that is why people should read this book, because I explained to them how I was able to set myself free, and I also give you system and plan on how everybody could actually set themselves free from that, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, you're talking about adding value to yourself. In the book, there is one thing that is adding value.
Yeah.
You can learn a skill. You can like discover your potential, discover what you can do.
Yeah.
And like, you know, add more value. And
many things, and planning, and then, you know, lots of money. So there are many things in the book that we'll talk about, but we'll not give them all the secrets. We want them to read it. So, but I want to say that the biggest problem that I see with Uncle Sam is you, Benita, right now. You cannot just say, I love God so much, so I'm not going to work for 1 month. I want to just be alone with God. You can't. And the reason why you can't is...
It's because of him.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, yeah. Like, unfortunately, that's the way it works. He's the boss at the moment. He's the one that decides.
But Benita, though, you just used a very key word there, that Uncle Sam is the boss at the moment. But you know what? Where the deception is in the Western church, everybody goes to church thinking they are free. Everybody goes to church thinking Jesus is the boss.
Yes.
thinking Jesus is their Lord.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I and you know the truth. Because if Jesus tells them to stay at home for 1 month,
okay,
and not go to work and just pray and seek his face and be in solitude, we will find out very fast who is the Lord. Who is the Lord?
Okay, it is true, Pastor Sunday. Unfortunately, the kind of teachings we've received throughout the years has always been about sowing a seed, and like we've never been taught the way you've explained in the book how you can actually escape the system and understand that money shouldn't be a slave to you. You should be mastering the money. So in the church, unfortunately, in the UK, in the US, in Africa, we've always been taught the principle of sowing seed into the ministry of the pastor. You're going to get your blessing, you will get your breakthrough, your purpose. You know, they're talking to us about a purpose that looks so far away, like purpose. What do you mean by a purpose? You have to be sowing the seed, sacrificial seed, dangerous seed. There's so many first fruit seed. It's a different a gospel that you are bringing to the table. That's why I was very intrigued. I wanted to find out about you, understanding your mindset. And actually, it makes sense. When you write, it makes sense. And what has happened is, you know, the work that you are doing right now, you are cleansing a lot of things. And don't worry, it's going to take a while, but people are getting it. Because for me to come out like this, to be able to speak to you and say, I have read your book, I have understood how the system works, that means that I can also now become a solution for other people. I can also set other people free, because I know that this system is designed for us not to fulfill our purpose on earth. And as I said at the beginning, if I die today, God will be disappointed with me, because I didn't rule, I didn't manage. Like, you use a phrase, there's one word that you always use: you have to be the manager of God on the earth. You understand? Being the manager of God on the earth. What do you mean by sowing seeds, by sacrificial seeds, managing the earth for God? That's what I always get about your message, even in this book. Being the manager of God on the earth. It's just simple. It's a simple formula, but we've been brainwashed, unfortunately, Pastor. We've been brainwashed for so long, but thank God that this book is in the market, because not only is going to set a lot of people free, but a lot of people will be able to be accountable to God on the last day. When God will question you, you'll be able to tell God, okay, I wasn't part of this system. I bore your will and your kingdom on earth. I was able to, like you did a series on Law and Order, I was able to bring your creation into existence, into my sphere of life. I was able to be something in the society. I was able to solve a problem. That's what God wants us to do, to manage the earth for him, not to be working for Uncle Sam. Who is he? Who is Uncle Sam?
Disguised Satan. Satan disguised.
Yeah, he's not in the picture. He's not supposed to be in the picture. But we have been fed with the wrong food for so long. But thank God that this book stopped working for Uncle Sam. I'm going to say something right now. For anybody that is interested to read this book, when you read the book, don't be in a rush, okay? Don't be in a rush to say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to resign. Because when I went to Ukraine, to HNT, I had a one-to-one with Dr. Sunday, and I said to him briefly, when I go back to the UK, I'm going to resign from my job. And you said something, I don't know if you remember, you said, don't do that. That was the only word you said, don't do that. And I was like, this man is crazy. Why is he telling me that I should not do that? Why? It didn't really make sense. But when I got home, and I sat again to read the book, because this book that I'm reviewing today, it was part of my assignment when I was at HNT, so I've reviewed already, but I didn't really kind of get the essence, like really the true meaning of what the book was all about. So that's what I'm saying to you. If you want to be set free from Uncle Sam's system, don't be in a hurry, okay? We're going to go step by step. You need to understand who Uncle Sam is. We already know that he's the enemy, okay? He's the devil that has a system in place so that you will not fulfill your purpose on earth, all right? And now, like the only problem is in the Western society, we are we are subject to Uncle Sam. He's there, he's obvious. And for you to come out of that system, you need to read this book.
Yeah.
You need to read this book because it's making sense to me. I have decided to resign from my current position. I gave myself 6 months from the last HMT, so November 2017. So we're already in January. It's already 2 months that has elapsed. So I have 4 months to set myself free from the system. I didn't do it because I sat down and just read the book and forgot about it. I literally took every single word that is written in this book, and I'm having a practical step towards it. I'm not just reading the book because it's Pastor Sunday, because he's our friend, he's our pastor, he's there for us. I take this book as a manual, okay? When you read this book, take it as a manual, take it as a way out of it, not just to read because you just want to read. Read so that you can also be a fruit and also be a partaker of what the book is talking about. So as I said, I have set up a plan. You know, you need to have a SMART objective. We learn these things in like when we work, SMART objective. And once you set up those SMART objectives, then Uncle Sam will just be a bygone story. It will just be like something of the past. But for you to get to that point, first of all, you've got to understand that this system is against you. Uncle Sam is not there for you. And he will never help you. Like, I have a big dream. I have a big, like, I want to do so much things. But Uncle Sam is limited. He will not help me to fulfill that. There's no way I can become a personality or a world changer as long as I am part of Uncle Sam's system. That you can't serve God in two systems. It's either God's system or the world system.
That's what physics is, and that's what Einstein says. You cannot solve a problem if you're on the same level of that problem. There's no way you can help the world system. You can change the world if you're under the world. The world is on top of you. and you are under them. You cannot change something that is on top of you because you have to come on out of that system, come on top and be on top of it before you can change anything. First of all, I must tell you, Benita, that you look stunning.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Today, I don't know what you did to yourself. You must keep everything the way it is until your husband comes back from work.
Thank you.
He is going to appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, that's by the way. Well, when I continue, that what Benita is trying to say when she says that I am so glad I read this book before I died. She said she's glad she read the book before she died because she's still able to correct something now. That because if she had died without reading this book, she would have, her death would have been a regret in heaven. She would have been regretting in heaven because she wouldn't have been able to correct these things and put this thing in order. So the way I'm going to put it is this. What that means is the Uncle Sam system is set up in such a way that once you enter into the system, you will totally and absolutely forget why you're here or what you are here for. And you are so consumed. For example, go to any church in the UK or in US today. Do you know in every single church you go to, there are people that have been called to do things on earth. In fact, God sent them here on earth to do many, many things. Some of them don't know those things. Some of them are not aware that they are sent here to do something. Some of them are even aware that they are sent here to do something. But you know what? Okay. But even though they are aware, they cannot set themselves free. They cannot set themselves free. They don't have the energy to fight against Uncle Sam. So because of Uncle Sam, people just comfort themselves that, well, at least I will be going to church every Sunday. And they think that will be a comfort. But really, whatever God has called them to do, they have not even started. And they are getting to be 30 years old now. Some of them are getting to be 40 years old. Some of them are getting to be 45 years old. Some of them are getting to be 50 years old. For some of them it's too late because they never read this book. So God created you, put all the resources in you, sent you here to carry out an assignment for him, and you are seized. It's like you are kidnapped by the system. And you never get to do it. Even right now, if angel appears to some people in the US or UK and tells them, I want you to resign from your job today and go to Africa for 2 years. You know, most people will not do it. You know why? Because they're thinking, how will I pay for my mortgage? Who is going to pay for my medicals? My car, my insurance, my kids, high school, college, school fees, tuition. Uncle Sam has held them. Even when God comes to them face to face, they don't have the exit strategy. This is the exit strategy. Is it exit, we say? Exit strategy. This is the exit strategy here from Uncle Sam. Now, in this book, okay, before I read what he said there, he said, Sandra is writing from Norway. She says, I actually wept as I read this book. I could see myself in the book. Now I'm making plans, also changing my mindset on who I am. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sandra is from Sweden, and I think maybe she's read the book or she's reading the book, and she's making the plan according to the book, where we have strategies there in the book on how to set yourself free from Uncle Sam. Now, in this book, I spoke about who is your Lord? Who is your Lord? What do you think? Who is the Lord?
Of course. Let me tell you who is your Lord. Okay. In Uncle Sam's system, yeah?
We are not talking religion now, in reality. Because in religiously, people will religiously say, is Jesus. But reality, we are talking reality. Who do you obey on a daily basis? Who do you obey? Is it Jesus you obey, or job, or work, or credit card? Who do you obey? Who is your Lord?
Your Lord is the system, unfortunately. Is mammon. Is money.
Is it harsh?
Yeah.
Is it harsh to say it like that, to tell the truth like that? Is it too direct?
You know, it took me a while to get to that reality.
It's very difficult to admit.
That I was actually serving money, mammon. It's hard because the way you wrote that book is.
Stop working for Uncle Sam, eh?
Yeah, the way you wrote it, it's like something just like. It's true, Pastor. We unfortunately, we are a lot of people that say that Jesus is my Lord and my Savior. We have failed big time. Because if truly Jesus is the Lord and the Savior of your life, why do you still bow to another man?
To the system.
To the system. So all of us that are still working for Uncle Sam, Jesus is not the Lord of our lives.
And it's easy to find out. If God tells you today to stay at home for 1 year, never go anywhere, will you be able to do it? And just be praying and seeking his face? You will not. So you will not obey Jesus because he's not in control. He's not in charge. Because it's the bills that are in control. If God tells you today, go to Liberia or go to Australia and go leave everything for 5 years. Just go and serve me. Because I'm your Lord, isn't it? You will find out very fast.
It's true. It's the sad truth. It's a bitter truth, but we've got to wake up. This book, you've got to get it, all right? You need to get hold of this. If you want to be in good terms with your maker, just take that bold step right now. Just get the book, because there's no way the world will teach you about these things. The world will only teach you about like managing businesses, like, you know, time management. They will only teach you things that is just like scratching the surface. But once you get hold of this book, you will truly understand God's original intent for us. So if you are still thinking, if you still have fear in your heart that if I leave my job, how am I going to pay my bills? That means that Jesus is not the Lord of your life. It's your job that is the Lord of your life. Because without your job, you can't pay your bills. Without your job, you can't buy you nice clothing. Without your job, you can't do anything. So that means that actually your job is the Lord of your life. So if you understand why this author wrote the book in such a way, you've got to wake up now, quickly.
Now, you mentioned something about this book. You spoke about it, and you said in the beginning, you mentioned what I wrote in the book. And what I wrote in the book is that money is a bad master, but a good slave. Money is a bad master, but so money should never be allowed to become a master. If the place of money in people's life, in individuals' life, is to be a slave. But the way it is right now, you tell me if those Christians or non-Christians who are in the West, if money is not the master. Of course, money is the master. We are the slave. We go work for money. We run after money. I mean, not me, but I'm talking about most of our people in the West. They are living for money. They are the ones. If they tell them there's a good opportunity to make money there, they run. Money commands them. If they tell them, oh, you can make money there, that's where they run to. Oh, that's a better job. That's where they run to. Well, oh, you can another job. Oh, you can make 2 times more. Oh, that's where they run to. Human beings have become slaves, and money has become the master. But it's supposed to be the reverse. Money is a good slave, but a bad master. Do you think this is a right assessment, or it's not?
It's 100% accurate. Definitely, money is a bad master. So there is one thing in the book that really struck me, and I want you guys to pay really attention. You're talking about that being in Uncle Sam's system, you can be in that system temporarily. You don't have to be there forever. So there'll be a time where you can actually come out. And what you need to learn from Uncle Sam's system, learn from whatever job you are, learn the skills where you are, learn from what you can gain from the system, just like for a short space of time. But don't delay, don't delay, because at the moment, your job is your Lord. My job at the moment is my Lord, because if I don't go to work tomorrow, okay, that is a sad truth. We're laughing about it, but it's really serious. It's a serious business. What we're talking here, it's a matter of life and death. We're talking about serious things, okay? Tomorrow I have to go to work because the job that I'm into is my Lord at the moment. But thank God, reading this book, has opened my mind, because Pastor Sunday, I wouldn't be able to leave the system if I didn't read this book. And I'll tell you why. Because I've never seen anywhere in the world someone to explain to you that actually this system is a bad master. No one has ever described it the way you wrote. I'm not trying to say things for you to feel good about yourself, but I'm trying to be truthful for you people that are watching today, that this resource, this material that has been released, Start Working for Uncle Sam, it can only come from the source, from the true source. And if you don't pay attention, you might just miss something. And if I didn't get my hands on this book, I wouldn't have the mindset I have right now, because I'm already making steps to come out of the system, and I'm also already helping other people to be liberated from that system. That means that in that book, there's a process. There's something that's triggered in me to say that, okay, I can actually live without the system. I can actually fulfill my purpose without being tied to the system. That means that this book has produced something in me, something has been transformed. Because there's no way, how would you tell your husband, for instance, you are married, you've got kids, okay, tomorrow I'm not going to work. The first thing that you guys are going to talk about, how we're going to pay the rent, how we're going to pay, how we're going to buy food. That's the first thing that will come out.
Not the will of God. You're not going to be asking what God said.
No, not the will of God. The first thing we will talk about is how we paying the mortgage, how we paying for the food, how we paying for transport, how about our car insurance, how about this, how about that. So that's the discussion that I had to thoroughly go through with my husband as well, and say, okay, my husband is free from Uncle Sam's system. He doesn't work for the system. Thank God for that. But for me now, a married woman, a young woman that has a destiny, that has a future, to leave the system while you are married, it's a bit tricky as well, because my job is the Lord of my life, unfortunately. But this book will truly give you the exit ticket. Like, you will just exit without regrets. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I know that with the system I have put in place, I'll be able to leave the system unashamed and glad that I have done it. Because before, I wouldn't be able to do it, because the fear of bills piling up, the fear of having the bailiff coming to my doorstep, the fear of survival. Basically, when you're working in the system, it's for survival. It's like to make ends meet. And that's not the original intent of God. And it's a shame that a lot of people who are watching today will still think about it, but not really process.
But some people will be saying, is there any way they could get in touch with you? Because you said you are already helping, or you started helping, or you plan to help other people come out of Uncle Sam's system. Is there any way they could find you, right? Inbox you, or you could mentor them, how you could mentor them and help them to get out of the system as well?
Okay, it's very simple. You can find me on Facebook, Benita Owobi. Just inbox me, add me as a friend. What I am doing currently is, since I started to read a lot of the DSA's books and messages, I've acquired so much knowledge.
Are you a distributor of DSA's books, by the way?
I am actually on the list. I have already received an email from your team.
Because it would be a good thing, because some people ask in the UK, do we have distributors in the UK? So it would be a good thing if people could also write you and come to, and because you are in the UK, it's easier for them to get in touch with you if you are a distributor, so that you could help them to get the books in the UK. Yeah,
definitely. It's definitely part of my my little mini mentorship program, where I would use your intelligence, your reasoning, the way you think, and the way you process things. And as I said, I've already started to help some people on Facebook. A lot of people don't have the know-how to do certain things. And I can see a lot of gifted people, talented people, but they don't know how to channel like their gifting and how to do something, how to start projects. And I have this skill to help people to set up something and just move on. So what I plan to do is to help people. Like there's one woman that I'm working with right now. She's still in Uncle Sam's system, heavily she's heavily involved in Uncle Sam's system. So for her, it's still like a far, like it's like a huge step that she's going to make. But we're already making steps towards that, and we're having one-to-one with her, and I'm trying to set up like some specific goal, as I said earlier, smart goals, smart objectives on how to exit that system as soon as possible. So you can find me on Facebook, Benita Owobi. I'll be there, and also in terms of the books distribution, so I would be the main person to contact in London. So if you need to get hold of DS's books, I'll be there for you. I'll be there to help you and to get it. So you can contact me for that. I can guarantee that you will get the books through me.
But now, the way you pronounce your name, I'm going to pronounce it the African way because you are pronouncing like an English girl. So I'm going to say her name is Benita Owobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Owobi. So now, in this book, I spoke about work. That none of us was created to work, to just go to work, just go to job. That actually the purpose of a job is working. No, not the purpose of job. Job is not in God's plan in the first place. But it might be temporary. You might need to do a job temporary to get your skill, to upgrade yourself, to be faithful in little, to learn some things, to be able to sustain yourself in the meanwhile, just as a temporary thing. That is what job is. Job should never be looked at as something you do all your life, because then you'll be a slave. But God created work, not job. And the reason he created work and not job is because work helps you to do a lot of things, to discover yourself, to realize the goals of God and purposes of God he has already put in you, and for what he sent you here in the first place to do. So we're talking about work, right? So work, what should be the purpose of work if work is not to go and get a job?
The purpose of work, as you said, has to be related to your purpose, to your calling, what God has predestined for you to be.
But many people never get to do that because they need to get a job.
It's because not a lot of people understand what purpose is, Pastor Sunday. You've got to understand that it's like something that is impossible. Like you can't get to that level because people think that in order to fulfill your purpose, you must have money. That money is the most important things at the moment in people's lives. If you discuss with people, you always hear, I need money for this project. I have this project I need to do. I need money. So it's always the money thing that is in people's mouths when they speak to you. So I think that's what it is. People don't have the understanding of what purpose is. They just need a job. They think that the job is what will bring the purpose of God for their lives, because it's always tied to the money, because as we said earlier, money currently, job is our Lord. So it's very difficult.
But in this book, I'm also saying that yes, money is important, but you could set up a system whereby something is working for you. Money is working for you. Money is your slave. Money is working for you through your business, through other things. Money is working for you while you are working for your purpose. Money is working for you and you are working for your purpose. So you set up something because there are different options. Another way to look at it is for you to combine your calling and making a money-making process together. That is also possible. Yes, you could, your calling could be your money-making machine. Your calling could be your income. which is a good thing, that you are happy and you are lucky if you get it that way. But for most people, they need to learn the laws of money, especially investment, and the principles of investment, so that money will begin to work for you. And when money is working for you, then you could go to Africa for 5 years because your money is working for you. Or you could stay at home and seek the face of God because you have a system that you have set up where money is working for you, you see. But many people don't seem to know about this. They are working for money.
Okay, I'll tell you why people don't know about it. Because look, I have lived my whole life in Europe, right? I was born in Africa, but I was raised in Europe, so I don't know anything about Africa. And I've never heard anything about investment. I don't know what investment means. It looks like it's only for commercial people that are into like big businesses. I don't know what investment means. And I think a lot of people don't really understand it.
Wow.
No. I never understood the laws of money. Like, I knew how to save, but there's a way you kind of put it down in some other books. I'm not going to mention too much, but your books are dangerous. I have to be honest. Your books are dangerous. Like, the things you get inside, it just hits you. Like, it's like you just wake up to reality. Like, really? Me? I can do that as well? It's like, if I didn't read Stop Working for Uncle Sam, I wouldn't know what laws of money means or what investment means. I knew that there's a way you can multiply, that you can do some things, but it's like it's far away. It's like a mirage. You can't see. It's like
for special people.
Yeah, special people. It's like only them. But for me, I still have to go to church and pray. Oh, God, provide. Like, it's unfortunate. It's lack of knowledge. It's not knowing. And you gave us the know-how in Stop Working for Uncle Sam. You really described who the system is, how the system works, what the system is meant for, and how you can actually exit. But before you can do that, you've got to know it. And not a lot of people, as you mentioned, not a lot of people know what investment is. And the laws of money, it's still a mystery. It's like if you go to church, you go and challenge your pastor, your geo, he will not be able to explain to you what the laws of money are. They don't know. So that's what we don't know. You came at a pivotal point of our lives where we knew that there was something beyond, but you just came at the right time. You came to rescue us from lack of knowledge.
From ignorance.
From ignorance. We just didn't know. It's not like we are lazy, that we don't want to make the effort to do it. We are not lazy. We think, but it's just that aspect is what was missing throughout like so many years. And I know a lot of people that are watching, they know that they were supposed to be world changers, do something for God long time ago, but it's just those two things, the laws of money and investment. If we knew that, I think the world would be a better place. The world would be a better place, regardless continents, wherever you're from, the world would be a better place. It's just that we don't know. We don't know.
Can you mention a few of other books of mine that you get to know, that you've acquainted yourself with?
Yeah.
And that could help our people too, that could help the people who are watching us.
Yeah, so I have this one here, Money Will Make You Rich.
Dangerous book. That is a bestseller. That's a bestseller in America and the world.
Yes. And the one that I am dissecting at the moment is how to build a secure financial future. So these three books, so let me tell you the order of things, okay?
Yeah, you explain to them how people should go about it.
Okay, first of all, if you are working currently for an employer, you're getting a salary, first of all, Stop Working for Uncle Sam.
Do you have the book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam? Do you have it?
Stop Working for Uncle Sam, I have it on Kindle.
Oh, Kindle, okay. I have it here, okay.
I have the Kindle version here, and DSA has the Go book. So if you're working for an employer right now, the first step that you need to take is read Stop Working for Uncle Sam. As soon as you have understood that this system is actually the Lord of your life, the Lord and Savior of your life, then you'll be able to exit the system. Number two, don't go too quickly. You need to go to Money Will Make You Rich, okay? Because that one will give you the foundation, understanding what money is, what wealth is, how money is created, how you can generate money, and there's secrets in there, and how to actually understand of money and investments that you're talking about. And then if you want to be crazy like me, if you have set yourself a goal, as I said to you on New Year's Day when I called you, I said that my goal is to become a multimillionaire in the next 2 years. So this book here, How to Build a Secured Financial Future, is the practical book. I mean, every pages has an instructions, and there's no way you can fail. There's no way you can fail, because first of all, you have educated yourself. You know that Uncle Sal's system is against you. It's not your friend. Secondly, you have understood that money will make you rich. So it's not about money. You have to understand the laws of money. And then how to secure a financial future. That's when you will see the tangible. Okay, if you want to call it miracle, like the religious people, if you want to work, if you want to work in the miraculous, in terms of seeing transactions and things happen, this one I have, as you can see, the book already looks a little bit like a little bit funny, like the corner, because I've been dissecting pages by pages. I'm not going to tell you what it's in there, because first of all, you need to get out of Uncle Sam's system. There's no way you can get to this level and you are still working for an employer. And I'm working on that myself. I'm not just speaking to people. I'm also going to have to prove that this thing works. And for me to do this book review, I was actually doubting, should I do the book review? Because I like to do stuff that I'm actually doing myself. I can't tell somebody else something that I have not tested. But coming from the perspective that it has triggered into my brain, I know that this system will not hold me for long anymore. So that's why I say I'm going to come out today and tell you people that stop working for Uncle Sam. It's a reality. It's a real thing. It's possible. And you don't need to worry about money. You don't need to fear that you're going to lose like your house, or like DSA said in the book, in Stop Working for Uncle Sam, that if somebody sends you for a mission trip to Asia, let's say for instance for 2 years, would you say yes? Would you agree to go? Of course, if you are working for Uncle Sam, you can't. You can't. Like HMT was in January. There was no way I could have come. Why? Because Uncle Sam's system already put me down on the rota and say you can't go. So you always have to like plan in advance. And I know there's also Pastor Ernest, he was saying as well that you want to come to HMT, but work is still like you can't fulfill your purpose. That's impossible. So stop working for Uncle Sam. You need to grab this book for this sole reason that when the time comes and you have to close your eyes and stand before God, He will congratulate you, first of all, and He will know that you were obedient and you've understood the purpose of creation, the purpose of God's kingdom to be manifest on earth as it is in heaven, because what we are doing here is just a replication of what's happening in heaven. So if we are still part of the world system, there is no way we will have fulfilled God's agenda for mankind, God's intent for us. So if you are still doubting, if you are still thinking, I'm challenging you today to go and get this book as soon as possible. If you are working for an employer, set yourself free quickly. Get a strategy in place. Read and read over again. Don't just read once. Read 3 times. Like at the beginning, there were some reviews from the books people be writing on Amazon that people started to read it and they had to read it all over again. So I'm challenging all of you that are listening to my voice right now to go and get this book if you want to be freed from the world system. And if you want to experience financial freedom, that's the answer. There's no other way. That's the way
I'm going to recommend one more book so that you've got a good compilation of books that will help people to let me see if I have all the compilation here. Yeah, I think I have one more that you mentioned. Let me take it here. Okay, I think you spoke about 3 books. So you spoke about Stop Working for Uncle Sam. That's number 1 book. Then after that, they should read this one, Money Will Make You Rich. Then after that, they should go to the miracle one.
The miracle one.
The manifestation book. This is how to build a secure financial future. So this is the cash one, the one that will bring the acceleration in cash and growth. Okay, so those are the 3 ones that Benita recommends. Yeah, these are the 3 ones, right? But I want to add one to it. I want to add, these are dangerous combinations. The one that I would like to add to it is this one: poverty mindset versus abundance mindset. Yes, so there have to be 4. This combination of 4 books, poverty mindset. Now, what I would say is, after working for after reading the Uncle Sam, go to poverty mindset. Then after that, read the Money Will Make You Rich. Then after that, read the how to build a financially secure life. So this, you cannot fail. I agree with Benita that you cannot fail. Even with 3 of these books, you cannot fail. You are going to set yourself free from Uncle Sam, and then you are going to be able to work for God, for the kingdom of God. The only purpose of work that heaven recognizes is working to fulfill the mandate for which God created you. All of that work, like we call job, paying bills, those are slavery systems. And that's why we cannot say, we say God is our Lord, Jesus is our Lord, but those are just talk. Talk is cheap. Why is it you don't obey? Why is it you cannot afford to obey? Why is it that God can tell you, anything God tells you now that would demand for you to quit your job or to go and, stay somewhere and not to work for the next 1 year or 2, you cannot do it, even if God tells you to do it. Because you have to tell God, I have to pay my bills. God, first of all, pay my bills. But God will not pay your bills. You go and put a system in place. And that's why that's what that book is going to give you. We'll stop working for Uncle Sam. Because if you don't put that system in place, well, you'll never be able to obey God. You'll never be able to obey God. And especially now, tonight, I'm going to speak about what Donald Trump spoke about. And Donald Trump called Black people and African people a certain name. And I'm not going to say the word. But after he said that, I now thank God that I wrote these books. Because look what's going to happen. I am going to, through these books, I'm going to raise up 10,000 millionaires in US dollars. And I'm going to raise up, some of them are going to be billionaires. And by the time I raise them up, some of them are going to be richer than Donald Trump himself. And by the time we even raise up 10,000 millionaires in Africa, nobody will be running to America anymore. Because America has an advantage, and the West has an advantage. I mean, it has a disadvantage, sorry. And the disadvantage of the West is that he's putting our people in slavery. Uncle Sam is slavery. Like I said in the beginning, in Africa, the Uncle Sam there is still growing, still small. So if one makes it on time in Africa, you are independent of the system. Even here, if you are independent of the system here, you can fulfill and live for God, live for heaven. But once you are in the West, it's almost impossible. Unless you are lucky and God helps you to come across this information, you will never think it's even possible. Did you ever think it was possible to even live differently, like I've written in this book? Did you ever consider it?
I never thought that it was possible. I was telling Mayowa off air, that I feel like I can just do anything. It's like the way you write the books, your books in general, it's like you've got to come up with a product. There's no way you can remain where you are. Even though you are making small steps forward, there's no way. I mean, the church leaders in the UK or in Africa, they will not teach you these things. They will either defraud you, they will take away your will, your talents, everything. But the way you write books is giving us so much hope that Africans people, they are not stupid people. They have a brain, they can think as well. And writing these books is showing us that God actually cares about the Africans. And that's why he laid this in-depth knowledge to your heart to pour out to the world and to give it back to us, the Africans. And I think all these people that are saying all these things about us, the Africans, they'll be ashamed, because God is giving us the keys. He's given us the keys to rule, to manage the earth for him in form of books. So if you still haven't got the message, what DSA is all about, what DSA has been doing for maybe 2-3 years on social media, I think you guys need to wake up, because it's a serious thing that he's doing. And you need to be part of this. And you are going to be part of this because you are watching, you are listening, because you want to learn, you want to know. But there is also one thing about us Africans: we don't like to read books. That is a major problem. I've been speaking to some people, asking them, oh, have you read DS's book? Oh, I read just a little bit, just one page. It's like reading is not part of us yet. And there are so many ways you can learn how to read. And please jump on the train. Don't miss the train. Like, we are going somewhere. Africa is going to rise. You know, Pastor Sunday wrote another book, how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. This is a big blow to Trump's face, to tell him that, all right, we also have brain. We can also think. So if you are hearing today, know that what we are doing here is no joke. It's a real thing. And when DSA passes on, it's gone. The legacy will stay forever. And I've been saying to myself that meeting you, DSA, has given me a new meaning in life. It's like you have taken me from the grave. It's like I was dead long time ago, in the sense of not knowing what I was purposely, what I was created to be. It's like I had no direction, no sense of direction. What am I going to do? But you just came. Basically, what you are doing right now, you are releasing those books. You are not the one that is releasing it. You are not the one that is releasing it, okay? You are not the one that is speaking. It's heaven that is crying, and he's telling his children, he's telling us, the Africans, to wake up, to manage this earth for God, to come and become the manager of God's property, of God's creation, to be the ones that will look after his business. And it's all about kingdom business. You've got to be kingdom business, kingdom minded. You've got to understand that these books that are written, it's for generations. When DSA is no longer with us, this legacy will last. And for this vision that God has placed in his heart to come to pass, we need to take this thing seriously. Please get yourself equipped with those books. These books are not ordinary books. I'm telling you, these books are not ordinary. I've never seen books like this ever in the market. I have never seen a book that has given me so much information that I can transform a nation. I can transform a society. I can transform my sphere of influence. I can go into where my passion, my talents lies, and go and take charge on behalf of God. I never knew I could do that. But God, in his mercy, infinite mercy, he had to choose somebody to think, to reason. And that's why these books are here. So stop working for Uncle Sam. get it right now.
And I will say thank you so much, Benita. But God helped me. If God had not, I think God set me up. God set me up so that I'm just thinking about it while you are talking. That it's so painful that so many people have lived up to now, especially African descent, and they have not produced this stuff for our people. And I'm thinking, even me, I wouldn't have even known about it if God has not isolated me. God isolated me and put me behind the iron curtain for 30 years. And now, I've been working like crazy for white people, not working for them, but serving them, trying my best to fulfill my calling. And, over 2 million people have passed through my church here. Actually, over 8 million people. And our church here has touched 70 million people. But I don't have any presence almost in Africa. But God had to compel me to shift my focus and to begin to do something for these people. And on another note, I'm thinking maybe God is a God of timing. Maybe because God is a God of timing, maybe He wants so that the first will be last and the last will be first. And I think, it's good that other people were first. But if God's word is going to come to pass, that the world sees as the last, there is a time coming when we shall be first. And I think that time is beginning now.
DSA, there's one thing I want to tell you. Don't forget anybody. Don't forget anybody. You've worked your whole life doing what you're doing on the eastern side of Europe. But your legacy, the fact that I'm speaking to you, you are alive, you are there. Don't forget people, like everyone. Because you're not only going to help Africa, you're not only helping the white people, but you have no idea of the magnitude of the intelligence that is behind the books that you write. It's beyond human reasoning, it's beyond human comprehension. Sometimes I wonder, I say, how does this man gather those thoughts, those ideas, and it makes sense. What you write makes completely sense. And whatever level you are, if you can understand. So the reason why I'm saying that, don't forget people, like the whole world is watching you, they say. The whole world is waiting to see what God is speaking through your books. The whole world, not just the Africans, the whole world is expecting to see what the books are talking about. And I'm so grateful that you are selfless. You're down to earth. The qualities that the way God had to mold you to like reduce you to this level is because something greater is ahead of you. And please don't stop releasing those books and just keep releasing as you receive it. Just release them, because it's helping me. The fact that I'm being set free from this system, I can replicate myself in other people, and that's what God wants. He wants a replica. He wants more people to be on the train. So if you are able to get me today to speak to you about this truth, that means that if I have believed those truths, that means that somebody else will believe it. And I know that this message is going to go. If I tell you that the steps I've taken to come out of Uncle Sal's system, I have got my whole family into it. Two of my siblings, I got them into the system, even though they don't understand. It's still like a mirage as well. But I've already got them to read your books and to already understand the laws of money and investment. So I already have two of my siblings, my blood relative, my two sisters, who are already like replicating like the works that I'm doing. And yeah, Stop Working for Uncle Sam is the book of the year because a lot of people are still in jobs, are still in employment, and it's the new year, it's the beginning of the year, new resolutions. I think your new year resolution should be to make that bold step, like to make Jesus the Lord of your life and not your job. That's the essence of the book, and to bring the kingdom of God on earth. That's the sole purpose of it. And by doing that, you will discover your purpose, what God has actually called you to do. Your life purpose will come alive. You will begin to know what you're supposed to. And if you stay enough with DSA, you will see some things that will just start to happen naturally. Things will just like happen. So don't delay, my friend. Get yourself ready.
You know, I'm so grateful that you came. There is a letter here on one of my books that I just released, which I didn't like. I agree with what you say, and this just to confirm what you are talking about. Okay, there is this guy here called Kyle Shepard. He's a white Caucasian American, but he just got. I don't know how he got to know about my book somehow, but really, you know, I used to go to America about 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. But I used to go there, and all my audience were only white. I didn't even, at the point, I was even thinking there were no blacks anymore in America or what. But I was not seeing them. I was only seeing them at the airport working. So I was ministering a lot to white America because my church here is white, and the only people who invited me were white America. But now, God has called me to Africa, and so what I think, why I'm not focusing, even I have my books on Amazon, but some Warriors, I think that is Dragnet, right? Warriors Prayer, that should be Dragnet. She says she checked Barnes and Noble store in America, wants to go and pick up some of these books. I don't know, I'm not sure if we have our books, if we have my books on Barnes and Nobles. I'm not sure if they are there, but I know they are on Amazon. But are they there? Yeah, it's Darknet. Yeah, are they there on Barnes and Nobles? I'm not sure because I'm not interested. That is not my first priority right now. But still, even though I'm talking just to Africans and Nigerians and things like that. Darknet says they have it. They have them on in the American bookstores, online bookstores, Barnes and Nobles. I didn't know because I didn't even put them there. I was not planning to. But what I got is that these people, that yet the white people who are really serious, who are curious, who are looking for truth, they discover my books. And this man here just read one of my books, and you know what he's doing? He's buying every one of my books. There is no other human being that has done that. He's a white guy, but he said, "What? I must buy every one of the books that Pastor Sunday ever read." But he said he's a reader. He likes to read. But still, that is a challenge. And he wants to buy I said, 300 books? He said, yes, I'm going. He said, because that one that I read is too good. See what he's writing here about this book. He says, Pastor Sunday has written a most important book. This is possibly one of the top 5 important practical books ever written in English language. Can you believe it? And he said he's a reader, voracious reader. He reads a lot. But this book he's talking about, I wouldn't even say it's one of my top books. It's just one of the regular books, just one of the ones. Why You Must Urgently Become a Workaholic is the name of the book. And he said that this is one of the 5 top books that he thinks, in his own opinion, most important books that have ever been written in the English language. So what you are talking about, that our people must begin to read, is really going to help us. Let me pick up another one here. This is another book here, which another American, but also white American, Caucasian American says, this book here, The Kingdom Driven Life, that I believe this is one of the top 3 books ever written in the past 1,000 years. So what you are saying, these are just to confirm what you are saying, that I shouldn't neglect anybody, because other people are getting it, and this is what they are saying. And that also, it also confirms what you are saying, that if Africans will begin to read, that these books will just propel us from the last to the first.
Yeah. But you know what? It's already happening, you know, the fact that we are putting emphasis on reading books, and like that really, people are starting to get it. We can still re-educate Africa to love books, to read books. It's going to take a while, because, you know, we're trying to dismantle a culture. We're trying to dismantle a certain way, a habit, a whole civilization. So it's going to take a while for people to switch back now to reading books. And I know, you know, all things are possible. So for the Africans to begin to read and assimilate what you write will eventually happen. But we just got to bear with them, because they are our brothers, they are our sisters. We just need to bear with the African mentality. It's going to switch, because even though I'm African, okay, I've lived in Europe my whole life, but reading books was not really part of my life, for one reason, because I was caught up in the church system. I was only going to church just to make heaven, you know.
Praying and singing.
Praying and thinking that purpose, one day we will make it, we will shout screaming hallelujah. You know, it's like illusion. It's like we can't really see. So it's going to take a while for the African to wake up. Even me, that was brought up, I can say I was born in Europe, because I've lived in so many European countries, but it took me a while to actually get into the speed of reading the books. That's why I joined the challenge that Dr. Aaron set up online, to read 30 books in a month. And I was able to read 1 book in 2 days, which is still tough, because, you know, there's so much things going on. So I think it's the willingness. I was willing to challenge myself. So I think the African mind, the African person, will also get there. If you really want to leave the fullness of what's written in there, you've got to put effort into it. You just got to be willing. There's no other way. If you want to know the truth, just if you want to know the truth, you know what I like about DS's books is it doesn't tell you Bibles, like it doesn't just quote verse for the sake of quoting verse. It will just give you an illustration. It will give you like a very nice anecdote, like a story of something that has happened to him, or somebody that he's met that he knows, and then he will just give you 1 Bible scripture. And when you read that scripture, you're like, okay. It's like it just makes sense. When you quote the scriptures in your book, it makes sense. There's no prayer points in there. This is knowledge for life. I mean, I believe that I have graduated from the University of Life with you, because you have empowered me even more than if I was to go to learn things at uni or go back to study. I think your life is so poured out into these books. It's like I've become a master of something, like of my own discipline. It's like I have mastered something. And for Africa to get to that point, you've got to be willing. You've got to give it a go. Just give it a go. Give it a try. Just try. Try him. Just try the book. Try the book. And I'm telling you that your mindset, the way you think, the way you reason, you will not be defrauded anymore. You won't give your money to Daddy Gio. You won't. You won't be lacking anymore, just try a little bit, and you'll come and do a review as well.
Amen. They will come and do a review as well, huh?
Yeah, they come and do a review quickly. Yeah, because they'll just be like, I've been missing this my whole life. Just don't waste your time. You've read so many religious books, okay? You've read so many religious books, prayer points. You've read all of them. Just put them aside for now and get some books that will actually add value to your life.
You know what? Thank you so much, Benita. Somebody is just writing now, commenting on what's his name? Donald Trump said. I'm going to be talking about that tonight. I'm going to be talking about Donald Trump and his comments, and I'm going to be giving my own view about that. So one of these books here that is very important for every African to read is this one, How Africans Brought Civilization to Europe. Especially if you want to be able to answer Donald Trump, you've got to answer from this book. How Black people, Africans, brought civilization to Europe and all continents, and America as well. So the role of Black people in the civilization of America and the whole of Europe. This book is here. I just released it last month. So all Africans must have this so that we'll be able to answer the bigots like Donald Trump. Okay, then the other book, I'll just show you my latest book, the very latest books. This one is called Why Losing Your Job is the Best Thing That Could Ever Happen to You. Why losing your job could be the best thing. Losing your job could be the best thing that could ever happen to you. So this one is a hot book. All these books are on Amazon. You could read them for free if you are registered on Kindle Unlimited. But even if you are not on Amazon, write to my office. And the way to do it is to write to DSS Books, one word, dssbooks@gmail.com. If you write to dssbooks@gmail.com, that's my office. They'll be able to, you'll be able to become a distributor of the books, or you'll be able to buy the books and read for yourself, or distribute the books and make money from distributing the book. Or you could just go to my blog, on adelajablog.com/books. Okay, other books that are some of the latest ones I've just released is How to Win in Life. This one is very serious. I am a person, but am I a personality? Benita knows something about personality. Yeah, you know something about personality. So this book is that you are just a person, then you've wasted life. You need to learn to become a personality. That is the one that rules in life, not just being, a slave in life. Then this is another book that will really help you to develop the culture. This is about the cultures of building wealth, the mindset, the lifestyle of building wealth. It's called Don't Eat Tomorrow's Food Today. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. Don't eat tomorrow's food today. Then this one here is called Could You Be the Abraham of Your Nation? This is how to take responsibility for nations instead of just thinking about your little self. This one is called The Secret of Diamonds. But that's not the name. The name is Excellence. How being best in everything, doing things excellently, could make you to be priceless like diamond. So it's called Excellence, your key to elevation. Your key to elevation. And then discovering the calling and purpose of every nation, all nations, or what? Discovering the purpose and calling of nations. Discovering the purpose and calling of nations. Pastor, Face Your Calling is this one. Pastor, Face Your Calling. The reason for that is because people want to box you and put you in one little place. Face your business. Don't go into business. Don't go into other places. No. This is the reason why this is talking about how believers can come out of the four walls of the church and bring relevance to the larger society. This is about bringing relevance to the larger society, coming out of the four walls of the church. And then we have this one. Work is better than vacation. Labor is better than favor. So this is work is better than vacation is the name of this one. Labor better than favor. So, in the next 20 minutes, I'm supposed to come on live. In the next 20 minutes, that's when I'll be talking about Donald Trump, his comments, and my answer to him. But right now, I want to say thank you so much to Benita. You've really set a lot of people free thanks to this your invitation. Thanks to this your interview and information you gave out. But you must go and watch the video. You are going to like what you see because you look stunning again. God bless.
Bless you.